So we've just seen some footage from the film.
What's it about?
Well, I'm guessing we know what it's about. That is an
Check out the
amazing.
shot. This is from the first one. And I actually noticed I don't quite fit into it anymore. I think it shrunk at the cleanest. That must be it.
So this is the third one, though. What changes are there from the first one to this one?
You know, you treat each one as an autonomous movie, but something really interesting happened in one of the end scenes where I was trying to put the main character's tune from the first one, and the character's grown up. You know, he's evolved. And it was just sort of interesting to see that, well, you can't just get away with the tune from the little panda that we had in the first one.
Mm-hmm. There's also a family influence in this one. We see a father-son relationship, or two, in fact. How did you go about playing that?
But the way everybody, don't you have two fathers? I mean, it's like a no. The fun part is that most of the time you get to play the bickering father, you know, and so no, it's just fun to have that sort of crazy idea that he has these two dads and which one to listen to. Of course, he doesn't listen to any. You know, so I know how to do that. You know.
Do you approach an animation film differently to how you approach other films?
No, I think the last. I tell you what. I think, and I learned this on my first animated movie, which was Lion King. I mean, kids hate it when you talk down to them, when you try to write funny and pretend or do parody or anything like this. No, you have to approach it as genuinely as you would approach any subject, any bit of storytelling. What is interesting is that you get to create a world that sort of doesn't quite exist. And on this one, what made it very different is that I had far more free reign to just sort of call up Chinese musicians who play instruments I can't pronounce and go, what's this thing sound like then? And just have an experiment with those sort of things.
Is it fun to discover the new sounds and new music that you can play with?
It's vital because, you know, I somehow seem to have, you know, I'm not complaining, but it's just odd that I've ended up doing a lot of sequels to things. And I think people never realize, I mean, I don't know when we did the first Kung Fu Panda movie. I should know these things. But if you look at the Batman movies I did with Chris, that was 10 years of our life. That's a pretty chunky part of life. And I think the Kung Fu Panda movies are probably span the same amount of time. So it's important that you keep it fresh. I mean, I'm not a marathon runner. I'm a sprinter. So I like coming up with. I need to treat each one as an autonomous movie and come up with something weird in them.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the Batman movies. You're involved in the next one as well. Are you developing a new theme for that, or?
I did. I sat there. I sat there going, after 11 years, here I sit again, and I really struggled. I mean, I struggled for 8 weeks moving 2 chords around. But you know, and this one was a double whammy because it was Batman and Superman. So it was a Superman sequel for me and a Batman sequel for me. And I literally, I mean, I just finished it just before starting this one. There was no time off between the two. But I think I managed to develop a new language.
Mm-hmm. And is that in tune with how Ben Affleck is playing the role in Zack
But
Snyder?
that's the whole thing. It's completely different. You know, so which helps, but still, it was still this sort of, you know, I was so in tune with Christian Bale to forget all that, and at the same time, which was really important to me, I didn't want to betray what we had done over the last 10 years. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!